Hello, I'm James Helder and welcome to another special episode of Not For The News. Firstly, I'd just like to take a minute to say our gracious empathy, if that's the right word, to Her Majesty the Queen. And what is a real sad time for the nation, having the monarch pass away. It's been a real testing and horrible time for a lot of people. I hope you boys are okay. The reason I'm having a little twist on it is we've seen sporting events will be cancelled in honour of Her Majesty. Premier League football and boxing, two of the high profile things that are not going to be happening. Is it right to cancel football across the Premier League, across all the divisions, across youth football, across grassroots, across the whole country and Scotland and Wales? Is it the right thing to do with the Queen passing? Where do we stand on it? Curtis, what are your thoughts?
I think it's a tough one, really. I think we spoke yesterday, James, and ultimately, my answer to the question is, I do think it's the right thing. Yeah, I think it's the right thing for everyone to show the respects over the weekend. Also, I understand the financial implications of that. Not so much for the football lads, because they're earning crazy money anyway, but I think we spoke yesterday about the boxers, and I know better than anybody of how little money there is down at that level. And basically all I did in my boxing career is run up debt, fight, clear my debt. So then these guys, that the fight's been pulled at the last minute, they will have run up training camp bills, and now all of a sudden they're not going to be able to pay them. So it puts people in a massive predicament. So cancelling it, I do think it is the right thing. Yeah, ultimately weighing it all up, I think what the Queen stood for in the country, you know, she's had a remarkable life, and I know not everybody's mad on the royal family, but you know, the Queen and the royal family is something I've always respected, and I think we can all show our respect for the weekend by cancelling the sport. Ultimately, I know all the repercussions of it all, but I do think it is the right thing to do.
Nighty, what's your take on it? Should we be cancelling sport across the country and further?
No. You know, we can pay our respects in other ways, you know, sing the national anthem before the game, black armbands. But, you know, you got to look at stewards. You got to look at people selling burgers and hot dogs and beers through the games. You've got to look at, you know, all sorts of ways and stuff that people are doing in and around football. Boxing, Curtis is already, you know, tapped on, and you know they're going to struggle when they're going to get their rescheduled fights. Nobody knows. And at the end of the day, yeah, the Queen loves sport, mate. Do you know what I mean? She loves sport. You know, if this was Wimbledon, would we cancel it? Because when COVID was on, we didn't cancel Wimbledon.
It's got a point, you know. The cricket and the rugby still taking place.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, if it was them,
go on, Nate.
If it was them sports that, you know, the Queen, you know, I don't even really know how to explain it, but cricket, the old England thing and whatever, rugby, the old England thing and whatever, you know, if it's tennis or anything like that, I don't think it would have been cancelled, bruv. So
I've got a theory on why they've cancelled the football and the rugby, and I don't think I'm far off the truth. I don't think the football fans or the boxing fans are trusted to behave. You know, and these are spectacles that are going to be shown all across UK television, and I think I don't think football fans are trusted not to behave within the minute's silence and things like that. So I think they've just completely taken it out of the predicament. Also, whereas rugby and cricket, completely different fan base, more respectful. Where the football fans and boxing fans, you know, we've all been to them events, and some of them can be animals, and I just don't think they're trusted.
Also, the Queen is the patron and Prince Charles of the FA. So it makes sense to be linked to an organisation for them to mourn you in that way. The boxing, I'm a bit baffled about. Like, the Queen didn't have the influence in boxing as, say, someone like Lord Lonsdale. So what's the boxing got to do with it in consideration of other sports taking place? It's quite a bizarre one.
Yeah, I just feel really sorry for the fighters in the boxing one, because I know financially what an impact that'll have on a lot of them. So yeah, I'm gutted for them. But again, ultimately, I do think it is the right decision. You know, it's one weekend. The Queen has represented our country for what, 70, 80 years, is it? I think we can give her one weekend where we cancel sport. All sport, in my opinion, should be cancelled across the board. The cricket and the rugby, it all should be cancelled for one weekend where we show our respects. But yeah, for some to go ahead and some not to go ahead, it leaves everyone asking questions why, doesn't it?
Well, I think you're right on the football and stuff like that. I mean, because a couple of games was played when she died. I think they played played on the night. I think a couple of European games and that, and you know, you seen stuff floating across the net. You know, people shouting, you know, things and stuff, and you know, not nice things and all that. You know, everyone's got their opinions on the Queen and stuff, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, she's a mother. She's you know, served her job greatly for God knows how long. You look at it, and you know, me and my missus were sitting down the other day, and you know, what a life she's had. I mean, people say, oh well, you know, she ain't had to do no work or whatever, and this, that, and the other, but she also couldn't do probably things that she wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? She can't go for a little piss up with her mates at all. No chance. Yeah, you know, yeah, she had to stay within lines of you know, rules, really. And this is from a very, 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 very young age. So, you know, you got to pay a little respect. I mean, I've got my opinions on certain things that's happening in and around her family that, you know, I don't agree with. And but yet still, you've got to show.
Yeah, but now on that one, you know, the Queen has sacrificed her own life for the good of our country. Yeah, like I say, she'll miss out on so many things that she wants to do. And you know, when people are bringing up people like Prince Philip and all the scandals, this, that, and the other, that's not the Queen, though. You know, and we've all got family members where you're like, if you judge me by cousins, uncles, aunties, or whatever, then you know that's not the Queen's fault that other people in their family are what they are. So I don't think you can hold that against her. I don't think that's fair. That's like, you know, if you have a cousin or an uncle who's an armed robber, that's held against you. I just don't think that's a fair criticism of the Queen. I think, you know, the amount of good that the Queen has brought to this country and done far outweighs any bad. But again, the royal family split opinion, don't they? I think you're either really, really against them or you're really, really for the royal family. And I've always been of a place of nothing but respect for what the royal family bring to our country.
We're in an era of a changing environment. Okay, traditionalism is fading and being replaced by realism, if you like. The isms are definitely involved anyway. Do you think? Do you think this will be the last as well, time?
James?
Sorry, Curtis. Do you think this will be the last time a monarch has the power for sports to stop to commemorate their passing in this country? Do you think it'll be the change? Do you think a lot of things will change with the new king coming in?
Yeah, maybe. It probably will. You know, things are fading out. But you look at the world we're living in now on social media. You look at how many people are making a show of themselves, you know, in high-profile jobs. When has the Queen ever made a show of herself or a show of the country? When has she ever not represented the country with 100% class and dignity? You know, in a world where everything's falling apart and no one's got any class or dignity anymore, the Queen was always 100% carried herself with the utmost respect. And I look at that and think, it's amazing because she is a figure from the past and these figures are going one by one and we're left with what we're left with now. You go onto Twitter for a few hours yesterday, the place is an absolute cesspit. You know, you go on social media, you see Sky News reporting about one was the last one there and is the first one to leave. They're trying to create a story and trying to create drama. I hate all that. And the Queen always stood above all that with class and dignity. And I think we're losing one of the last people that's got a link to that world when the world was such a better place than what it is now.
Yeah, she held herself highly. You know, she done her thing. But like I was just gonna say, you know, I'm not really for the whole royal family and stuff. But you know, if you ain't got nothing good to say, just don't say nothing at the time, because flipping, do you know what I mean? It's just, like I said, it's a mother, it's a grandmother, it's a daughter. I mean, obviously her parents ain't here or whatever, you know, she was a wife, she was, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to like, if you, like I said, if you ain't got nothing good to say, then just don't say anything, bruv. Like, don't, you know, like Curtis saying, you go on social media and there is some absolute crazy, you know, these people ain't got no respect for anything, really. Do you know what I mean? They making up, looking for likes and retweets and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? You've got, I'm sure we're going to touch on Trevor St. Clair in a minute. You know, you've just got everybody doing something to, you know, draw the attention to them.
If I ask you a quick question regarding your heritage. So your parents are from Jamaican roots, is that right?
Yeah. So, Jamaica, St. Lucia, yeah.
Yeah. So how did your family feel about the royal family? Because obviously a product of the Commonwealth, and I know that, you know, they're quite split because of what, you know, England and Great Britain basically raped and pillaged the Commonwealth of all its wealth and enslaved them and all things like that. So I understand it, and just wondered what your family's thoughts were of the royal family.
Well, my family's not on it, but once again, they ain't. You won't hear a bad word out their mouth about anything. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, like I said, she's a mum, she's a grandma, she's a sister, she's do you know what I mean? It's you can't start, someone's died. Do you know what I mean? You can't start the stupidity, you can't start the foolish. Now, you know, any you know, opinions they had, they'll just keep to themselves. They weren't for the royals at all. Just like me, I'm not for the royals, but I ain't gonna disrespect, and they haven't disrespected. So, you know, that's just where we stand with it now. You know, my family.
I think a lot of opinion from people that have roots to the Commonwealth. Again, it's very split. You know, you get a lot of old Jamaican people that came over to this country that absolutely love the royal family.
Yeah.
And then you get the others that are just not for it at all. So it's a tender subject, really, isn't it? But I think 90 hits a nail on the head, where when someone dies, you know, sometimes it's best just to keep your mouth shut and show a little bit of respect. And I think that's been seriously lacking over the last 48 hours.
My family is Scottish, so best not asking me that one. My mum is a royalist, actually, by the way.
But again,
she's been greeting for days.
Yeah, but I mean, Scotland split again on the monarchy. You know, you look at the Glasgow Rangers fans; they absolutely love the monarchy. And then you get Celtic again, who are, you know, based in Glasgow, who detest the monarchy. Yeah. They've got their Irish roots, obviously. So I think overall in the world, it's right down the middle, isn't it?
Lads, I mean, anyone watching this, I want to give you a bit of advice, okay? When someone high profile dies, if you have not got anything positive to say about that person, about their family, okay, don't tweet nothing. That's all I'm going to say. Look at the mess that Trevor St. Clair finds himself in this morning in regards to something that he didn't actually have to comment on, okay? No one messaged you and said, look, you need to respond to this right now. This is you. You've taken upon yourself to put something out there, rightly or wrongly, and share your opinion at a time that was ill-timed is the wrong word. Okay, so let's firstly discuss the breakdown of Trevor Sinclair's comments regarding the Queen. And I know you guys know Trevor as well, so I'm not expecting you to.
I don't know Trevor. So
well, in which case, I'm expecting you to be as honest as you can and open as you can with the questions. What was your take on it, Nighty?
I think he's a prick. Simple, just an absolute prick. You when you play for England, we've seen the clip of you singing "God Save the Queen." We've seen it. I always say this, like, these older black footballers, some of them are so just not real. And I say the black footballers because, do you know what I mean? You ain't going to hear a white footballer coming out and doing what he done. You weren't doing all this when you was playing. Like I said, you were singing the national anthem. We've got the camera going past you, you're singing the national anthem. Yeah? We've got it. We've seen you. Yeah? And then you're talking racism, like brown or black people or whatever, and this, that, and the other. Bruv, you've been pulled for being racist in the back of a taxi, pissing all over the taxi. Yeah? This is cokehead movements that he's doing. Yeah? Then you delete your tweets, your whole account, then you come back and you start apologizing. No one can, come on, bro. Listen, TalkSport need to take this brother off the air. Yeah? They need to take, listen, I'm all for free speech. You know me. I'm all for it. Yeah? But if you're going to say something, say it, stand by it, take the flack or whatever you want, or whatever comes your way. Yeah? If you get sacked, take it on the head. Yeah? But don't be saying things. This is how fake these older black footballers are. Don't be saying things to grab a little bit of attention. And when it comes on top, you want to delete, you want to come back, you want to apologize and do all that. Like, that don't make no sense, bro. That, like I said, that's coke head movements. They're high, they start acting up. They coming down, they start thinking, panicking. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Then they delete. Sober, they come back and start apologizing. That's cokehead movements, bro.
It must have been.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Come down when he was checking his mentions, if that's the case.
But this is what I'm trying to say.
Jesus Christ.
That's why I quote tweeted him saying, bruv, how many lines and juice did you sink before you tweeted this? Because you're a public figure. You played for our country. Yeah? Right? You're not even you're not even for really black people like that. But now, all of a sudden, yeah, you're going to these extents. On top of that, like I keep saying before, somebody's just died, bruv.
This is what I mean.
Somebody's just died.
When do you read the room and go, nah, maybe I shouldn't tweet that? Like, when do you understand empathy and compassion for other people? Even if you somewhat believe that and that's your thoughts, which, okay, why would you share that and damage yourself when you're in the public eye like that? If that's your warped thinking, I don't get it.
You know me, yeah. I'll speak my mind and this, that, and the other. Yeah, and I don't really care about whatever. But my opinions on the royals and all of that, I'll gladly and openly say I was all for Princess Diana, completely. Yeah. After that, I weren't really on it. I weren't on it. I tell you the God's honest truth, but you're not gonna see me online tweeting crap. Yeah, I'm not online tweeting no crap about, you know, the Queen and this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah. I'm just not on it, because if my grandma died, yeah, or my mum died, God forbid it's not for a long time yet, yeah, and someone's taking a piss out of them, I'm looking to take their head off, cuz.
Oh, straight up.
You know what?
About my nan every day, and she passed away 13 years ago. So you understand the respect levels. And what I don't understand is it's so small-minded of someone like Trevor. who's had a wonderful experience, a wonderful footballing career. It just struck me as so left field. I thought he'd been hacked initially, and I was expecting that to have come out. Like, do you think now there's no place back for him within the media work that he was doing and the company he was working for?
I think Trevor has got roots of Irish heritage, hasn't he? And I think he supports Glasgow Celtic, so I know he's got roots over that side of the world, and their thoughts on the Queen don't align with my thoughts of the Queen or people from England's thoughts of the Queen. So I think that's where his opinion on that comes. Yeah, I actually exchanged direct messages with Trevor yesterday on Twitter. And yeah, I mean, when I seen the tweet, I was like, wow. I just thought it was quite distasteful, to say the least. And yeah, but I was a bit upset when I seen it. I must admit, like, when I look back at my football career now, 42, I'm old, and it all goes really fast, and you forget so many things. And I remember I got goosebumps twice. What they called goosebumps twice.
Yeah.
One of them was when I came on to make my debut, and the other one was when I sang the national anthem when I played for my country. And I will never forget the greatest moment for me was playing for my country. And when that music comes on over the antennas and he's singing it, it's like it means something. And yeah, it just wasn't good, was it? I'm not here to vilify Trevor at all, because, you know, it's not my place to, but I just thought it was distasteful and the timing was terrible.
From a PR.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, Curtis, as well, yeah. He does it before. He does this sort of thing, these sort of things. He tweets reckless, and then deletes his whole account, comes back on and starts apologizing, bro. But then, like I say,
but then, you know, listen, I'm not defending what he put at all. You know, I made my position clear on that. And when he spoke about the blacks and browns, I quote tweeted and said that he doesn't speak for me on that aspect. But what I will say as well is he is paid to give his opinions. So is he only allowed to give opinions that everyone agrees with, or is he paid to give his opinions and that's that? And again, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that, you know, he works for TalkSport and he's paid to give his opinions, and his opinions sometimes people disagree with. Do
you think
this one for me was ill-timed with the death of the Queen, and like, I'm so against it, it's unbelievable. But I will say, on the flip side of it, he is paid to give his opinions.
All right, flip side of it, would he have said that in the TalkSport studio live on air? Do you think?
No. Like I keep saying,
why on earth does he feel comfortable to share this with the world? Does he think there's only people that like Trevor on social media? I'm baffled by it.
It's coke head movements, bro. I keep telling you, you lot don't listen. I'm from a place that I've known crackheads. Yeah, I've known these digity people. I'm from that place. I know a crackhead. And when I mean crackhead and a cokehead, I don't mean man that's out with his shoes open.
You're not talking about front line, are you? You're not talking about...
No, I'm not talking about front line. I'm just talking about these man sniff coke. Yeah? And like I keep saying, I'm all for free speech. Just stand behind your speech. Bruv, why are you deleting the thing?
Okay.
I understand. Come on, you can tweet what you want.
So would you have not supported Trevor, it's a wrong word, but would you have analysed and slightly had more respect for him if he hadn't have retracted his statement night?
Of course. Your freedom of speech. Everyone's always going, oh, be real, be real, be real. Cool, be real. But don't be real and then flipping delete everything and then come back apologizing. If I'm tweeting something and some people don't like it, then it's just that you don't like it. I'm not coming back and I'm not apologizing for nothing.
He actually means it as well. I've tweeted him before and said, Nighty, please, like, take that tweet down, or don't say this, please, like, it's not good. And he does exactly what he wants. Nighty's lost Twitter accounts that 100,000, 150,000. He has got no remorse or no self-awareness. I like to think he's growing as a person and that, but yeah, if he believes it, he's going
to... No. Don't get twisted. Don't piss me off. Because if something pisses me off, I'm talking about it. No. It's not even no.
This is why we got you on the show. Do you know what I mean?
It's not because you know, some people you tweet something, oh, you're hard or whatever, and this and that. It's nothing to do with that. This is what I'm thinking.
But don't you find, like, even me and myself on my Twitter, I stay away from certain subjects, okay? Because it's not going to do anyone any good, me tweeting about certain things. Not suggesting that I empathise with Trev in any way. That's not what I'm going on about. But everyone has their own view on something, okay? Surely you should understand as a human what's best for you and what is not best for you. I'm really questioning the judgment process. Not just with Trev, but a lot of these tweets about the Queen over the last couple of days. I'm questioning people's judgment. Like, how does a 96-year-old woman got you like this?
You know, you see me, when people die, if I was for them, you'll see me say, rest in peace or whatever in this, that, and the other. Maradona died, you'll see me say, rest in peace. When Bernie Mac died, the comedian, you see me say, rest in peace. If somebody dies and I don't agree with anything, I stay away from it, because death is mental, bruv. You know? It's mental. You don't tamper with them sort of things there. Like, you don't, if you want, like, for instance, Kenny Jackett got sick. Now, I detest this man. So
detest is an undercurrent. He that's a small version of what he thinks about Kenny Jackett. Right.
This is what I'm trying to say. So I don't really care what happens to him. Now, that's how, and I tweeted that as well. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not deleting and I didn't delete, and I didn't apologize or whatever.
You got quite a lot of stick for that as well, by the way.
Yeah. Of course I did.
People that actually like Kenny Jackett and played under him, thought he was a good player.
Yeah. I did. Players that's played underneath him was direct messaging me saying, bruv, like, I said, I don't care. Simple. Another one is, who's the defender who used to play for QPR? The mixed race guy, QPR, he's suffered with like mental health and whatever. What's his name?
Clark Carlisle.
Don't care what happens to him either. Yeah? So all of this mental health and this, that, I don't care. Like, I've said this, yeah, and I've come out and I said this, and I'm still saying it now.
What about the beef with Jamie O'Hara? Is that all dead now?
Nah, that's just like tit for tat, go back and forth. Do you know what I mean? He ain't really, I ain't got nothing personal against him. I don't even know him. I've never even seen him in real life.
Yeah, just
do you understand what yeah, it's just back and forth banter, you know, like, you know, your missus is this and blah, 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 whatever, this, that, whatever. It's nothing.
I think all of these things, like you said, you know, you can fall out of people in life, and that's how it is. And, you know, you have problems with people. This is the Queen, mate. This is the Queen. Know when to just slow yourself down.
Yeah.
And the tweet from Trevor is reckless and just like unbelievable, to be honest. When I've seen it, I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
And this isn't some 16-year-old kid who don't really know any better. Like you said, regardless of your thoughts, it's the Queen. This isn't fucking Kenny Jackett or Clark Carlisle or Jamie O'Hara or someone you've had a bit of beef with when you used to play football. It's the Queen. And you're right, James, like, where's your head at? Read the room. How can you think that this is anywhere close to being acceptable? Even if you think that, just slow yourself down and show like just a little teeny tiny bit of respect and don't say anything. But to tweet how he tweeted was wow.
It was that reckless. He had people with the name Sinclair getting abuse.
Yes,
because you have the name Sinclair, you're getting abuse, lad. Like Frank Sinclair's son, Tyrese. What a lad. Trying to make his way in the Football League, working hard, going about his life. He had
good player as well.
Great player, doing his thing at Rochdale, I believe. He had about 50 messages from people giving him abuse, thinking that was his old man.
Yeah.
See, not only did you trouble one Sinclair family, you troubled every Sinclair family with that madness, man.
Again, so, but
let's just try and put a line under it. I hope it
But
is what
can
it is.
I just say quickly, James? So again, you've got Frank Sinclair, whose heritage is Jamaican, who's got roots in the Commonwealth, who was very pro Queen. So it just shows you how split people from that background are. You know, that have got roots in the Commonwealth. You know, some people are all about the royal family. They're being brought up with the royal family playing a big part in their lives, and some people, like Trevor, are the other way. So it just shows really that it's a polarizing topic, isn't it?
Indeed it is. Let's come away from this now for a little minute. I want to talk about one of the rumors that's come out, that Thomas Tuchel, in the pre-season meeting with Todd Bowley, Thomas Tuchel was presented a 4-4, let me get this right. Sorry, lads. Thomas Bowley was presented with a system that had an extra player in it. Okay. So basically, they were trying to show him a system for the new team, and they'd included an extra player. The system was 4-4-3.
Now you're chatting shit.
I've got it here in front of me. I've read the article.
What? Who said that? Tuchel said that.
Todd Bowley presented Thomas Tuchel a 4-4-3 formation, leaving a poor initial impression on the former boss. Now, like anything, what happens when there's a split, when there's an argument, these things tend to come out, okay? So I'm taking it as gospel. What do we think of Chelsea's new super chairman, new in the job, handing the manager a tactical brief with an extra player in it?
Oh man! Oh, yo, Thomas. I don't think they'll realise, you know. Sneak another man up there.
What that? They must have analysed it with his team before taking it to Tuchel. Surely someone's pinpoint presented it and they've spoke about it.
Mate, listen, I won't name clubs or anything, but I've had something a bit similar where I've had people that, you know, don't have a clue what they're talking about come and tell me about systems. I've had to say, listen, just cut the grass. Leave this to me. And I'm not Thomas Tuchel. I've not won the European Cup. So, you know, It must be like, wow.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
Oh, mate. No, he wasn't.
But you know what? But what I will say, this is the issue. When you get people pumping so much money into a football club, they want their say. And I kind of half understand it. If I'm putting £250 million into a football club, I probably want to have my say as well. Yeah. So I get it. I do get it.
You'd want to play 12 men as well.
I'll be playing that little false nine role.
I'll be playing 4-4-4.
This is what gets me. The things that managers have to deal with that we don't see. Like, how many times has Tuchel had to put someone in their place this season? Do you know? How many times has Mourinho sacked the coach for not passing the ball correctly? These are the things that I like.
I also heard that, you know, like we were saying before, he don't seem right. I think we spoke about this in the group chat as well.
He did, yeah.
And, you know, and he's lost, I think he's you know, his wife and him, they're divorced. His whole family's been split. And that kind of makes more sense to me because you can kind of see, you know, you go and look at him when he first came in, and then you look at him to when everybody's saying, you know, his family and everything was kind of, you know, split between two. He's him and his wife divorced, and, you know, the kids and whatever, and this, that, and the other. And when you're a man and you've been with your missus for a few years, and you got kids, and, you know, you got your whole family and all of that, and if you look at him, you can kind of see, you know, a decline in body language, face.
Yeah.
You know, even when he's doing interviews and stuff, do you know what I mean? You can kind of see it's like withdrawn. He's been sucked out, like, and he's been managing for a long time. So I don't think it would have been results or, you know, what's going in and around the club, or even, for instance, the 4-4-3 situation. I think you just take them things on the head and just, you know, but with the whole family matter. You know, it goes beyond football. So I think that makes more sense on, you know, things that was happening in Iran with him as well.
Yeah, has he got divorced from his wife, or has his wife died?
No, they've split, and it looked like
Split.
the Chelsea players, from what I've gathered, were mocking him or secretly talking about his affairs and laughing at the fact that his life was in tatters and he was on a downward spiral. Like, allegedly,
Really?
this is what I'm taking away from it. So yeah, he lost the dressing
Yeah,
room. The players are mocking his personal life. It don't sit well, does it?
No. And you know what? Like I said, when you've got problems at football, or I suppose in any walk of life, in any job, it's problems at your job. You can kind of brush it off a little bit more. When you got problems at home, it cuts a little bit deeper, doesn't it? It's always harder to deal with. And to be in a high pressure job like the Chelsea manager must be difficult for him. I feel sorry for him, mate. You know, because I've always liked him when he comes across an interview. He seems like, I could play for him. Got a bit about him, got a bit of an edge. Yeah. I agree with what Knighty said. Over the last few months, 6 months, that edge seems to have gone. And he seems like a man like, not really enjoying this.
The thing is, it's how you handle it, right? Tuchel obviously had a lot of personal drama. Heads dropped. He's like, Ericsson, Sven, he was right getting amongst it. He's like living the life. Do you know what I mean? How you let things affect you, isn't it? Tuchel's got to stop feeling sorry for himself, lad.
Yeah, but Sven, to be fair, he probably couldn't believe his luck. He's no oil painting, is he? Yeah. He probably is thinking, you know what? I got to fill my boots while I can. This is never going to happen again.
Can we just take a minute to appreciate him, Sven?
Yeah.
Come on, man. He was one of the boys. You know what I mean? Hardly disciplined anyone. Picked a good team. Let the boys do their thing. I've got time for Sven. I would have loved to have played for Sven. Do you mean?
Yeah. I'd have loved a night out with him because he could nick a bird.
100%. He looked like Mr. Smithers, didn't he, off The Simpsons? You know that old bloke? It's like that.
Yeah.
He must have had some serious aftershave or something.
Oh, or he's packing a serious one down there, mate. I tell you.
Serious wallet.
I was going to say that, Nighty, but I swerved away from it. You know, like we spoke about earlier about the tweets and that. I thought, you know what? I'll swerve away from that. You've gone straight in.
Nighty says Sven-Goran Eriksson has a massive wand.
He has to have something, mate. Trust me.
He's got a massive wallet, hasn't he? He's got game. He's got charm, the old fella.
Where is he now? Is he retired?
Where is he now? I was just wondering that. Sven watch. Where is Sven now? Something tells me, off the top of my head, he's doing a consultant role in Dubai or somewhere. Like, he's absolutely having it wherever he is.
Yeah, well, it won't surprise me.
He's wherever the money is. That's where he'll be.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is. We'll have to come back to that. I think that's in a whole episode on itself. What happened to Sven? No,
Sven had Stevie Gerrard playing left wing or something, didn't he? Sven was all over the place.
He was shocking.
And he had a good batch of players to play with, and he was playing 4-4-2. I'm like, wow. You look at it now, look at the pool of players he had.
At the time, it was sort of the rules that you had to play 4-4-2, wasn't it? There wasn't that many tactical geniuses that had changed the system in terms of the wing strikers. Wingers were
but even if you play 4-4-2, you play the players that you've got in the right positions. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't play flipping Gerrard out on the left. Like, do you know what I mean? He's central. Do you know what I mean? So.
Did he have Rooney? He had Rooney and Owen, didn't he? Did he never ever think of like a 4-2-3-1 and have Rooney just playing just off Owen? So it's still like a 4-4-2, but like a 4-4-1-1.
Yeah.
Like, come on, brother, mix it up. Give us something.
Shocking, man.
Could you imagine Southgate going on how Sven went on? Just wouldn't happen, would it?
No.
Well, it's the errors that we're in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That era there, like there was, get a win, get on the booze and stuff like that. This era here, can you imagine Southgate going out and doing some stuff that Sven done? Jesus Christ!
Imagine Gareth in the dentist chair after a game.
No chance.
He can't live that.
Good.
Life. He can't live that Sven life. Do you know what I mean? Different personality.
No.
Different mentality.
Sven completed it. Whatever life is, Sven's completed it, mate.
Yeah. This is another
just
thing.
Smashed it, hasn't he?
This is another thing I'm worried about, okay? We've got the World Cup this year. What's going on with the fixture congestion? Where do we get these extra games in? So we're missing games this weekend. Potentially, I don't know everything as much as I like to think I do. We've got the funeral where games are going to be suspended as well. So if you're playing in London, how are you going to go to and from hundreds of thousands of people everywhere? So I'm guessing that'll be another lot of games. Is it dangerous for the Premier League? The fact that all these catch-up games are going to have to be played at once before the World Cup, for players picking up injuries, knocks, and that alike, and players having to rest, maybe not having the best available players for game selections because of congestion. What's your take on it?
It could. Listen, it could affect things. Teams where they finish at the end of the season, mate. All of this because flipping, to have the World Cup in a couple of months, mate. Oh, mate, I can't express how flipping stupid it is. Like, I don't understand. I actually don't understand what's going to go on. So if I'm asking here, is the Prem still going on while the World Cup is going on? I don't like what
lockdown, isn't it? 6-week lockdown, and 8-week lockdown.
So nobody plays for 8 weeks.
No one.
It's only the African players that get no competition continues while you go away. World Cup that has to go ahead. That has to play.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a mess, isn't it? Really. You know what? As well, I ain't got no vibe about the World Cup.
Thank you, Curtis. Thank you.
Like mid-season when the World Cup's coming at the end of the season, it's like, oh, World Cup.
Yeah.
I haven't got that. It's just like, come on, there's nothing here at the minute.
No,
I'm not feeling it.
Well, that's maybe because of the infrastructure from the country that it's at. Okay,
it is.
They're building stadiums. They haven't got a PR machine yet. They haven't got these well-renowned people endorsing everything and everything that goes on and the hype coming out of it. It's all new. It's all driven by new industry and pound notes. Hasn't got the magic, has it, at the moment?
Nah, not feeling it, me.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm really not feeling it. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm really not. I know people go, well, it's the World Cup, and it's the world, and it can be played wherever. I'm cool with that, but play it at the appropriate times. Like, do you know what I mean? Play it. The season finishes, yeah, and then you go on. Like, you don't play it mid-season, bruv. Mid-season.
But they said to play it in the summer, it'll be too hot.
You die.
And that's fine if it's too hot. Well, you don't have it there then.
Exactly. That's my.
It's not Curtis. I understand what you're saying as well, but we've played in other hot countries.
Yeah.
That's been baking. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. America was just absolutely scorching. Yeah.
Brazil.
I'm sure. Where was we? Hong Kong and South. Where was it though, that time there? Hong Kong was it? Was that in the world? Was that a World Cup? Did we play in there? South. Where was that?
We had one in Brazil, didn't we?
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, these countries are scorching hot. I just don't understand, bro. I just don't understand.
The World Cup's just turned into everything else. It just pimps itself out for money.
Yeah.
So that the World Cup's just a whore. It gets pimped out for the biggest check. That's where we're at.
When the Jules Renee decided to make the World Cup, I'm sure it weren't driven about money. I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it was a case of the best teams and the best players playing on an even field, on an even keel. When has that magic been taken over by commercialism, by money, by corruption?
Since the Premier League got here, 1992, that's when the whole thing started to crumble, because then it all became about money. Up until that era, you could walk into your local pub on a Saturday or Sunday and be sat next to the local centre forward who was playing in the top division. Since 1992, the game became purely about money from top to bottom, all across international football, and everyone's just whoring themselves out for a few quid now.
Yep.
1992, that was a day the game changed for the worse. And just quickly on the Jules Rimet, over the last couple of days, obviously with the Queen passing, how good was it to see when she gave the World Cup to Bobby Moore?
Yeah,
so good. The Queen looked so young as well, didn't she? You forget sometimes the amount of things that she's seen in life and been a huge part of. And I seen that clip, I think it was yesterday, and it was just an amazing clip.
Someone's
me and my missus was talking as well, and you know, you see the younger pictures of her and as she was growing up and all that. Missus was saying, right, she was pretty, bro.
Yeah.
Like groomed to the absolute, like not a hair out of place or anything. Whenever you, like, do you know what I mean? So it's sad, man. It's sad. It's sad. Trust me, it's sad. But you know, I'm not for the king. Nah. I'm not really on him. I'm not. He's on banter. You
know what though? Do you know what? I was going to say this earlier, but I seen his speech that he gave yesterday, 24 hours after losing his mum, and I thought it was incredible.
No, Curtis, don't go on. Sorry, I'll talk after.
So his speech was amazing. I felt it. I could, because he was in pain. Forget the king or the queen. That's his mum, and I thought his speech yesterday was incredible.
No, don't get it twisted. You could see his eyes were bloodshot red. Like you could see he's just, and this is the thing as well, that I was speaking, we were speaking in the house yesterday, and we were saying, why does he have to come on 24 hours after, bruv? Like, give him a little bit of time to just, do you know what I mean? Get himself together, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, flipping hell, bruv. Like why do we need that from him?
But again, Nighty, like what we go back to saying, to the royal family sacrificed herself for the country. So the country, they need to hear something. And he's had to get out 24 hours. Imagine what you'd be like 24 hours after losing your mum. And he's had to come out and address the whole nation. So that's why I think the royal family deserve so much more respect, because they always have to sacrifice themselves, you know, for the good of the country. And the country needed to hear something from the next king. And he comes out and you could see like he'd been to hell and back the last 24 hours, like you said. Bloodshot eyes. He was hurt up there. And what the speech I thought he gave was incredible.
Yeah, but I'm not on him.
There's so much.
Nah, he's on banter. So
much we.
Yeah, he's a king now.
We're gonna
he's
take
like
inspiration from Trev and not say too much. Do you know what I mean?
Nah. I'm not on him. I don't care what anyone says. He's on banter. Yeah, I can't take. Yeah, can you imagine the Queen cheating? It wouldn't happen. That's why I ain't really said anything about the Queen, because, you know, there's talk of, you know, what she done and her son and rare and blah, blah, blah. Cool, no problem. Oh, cool. But at the end of the day, but this brother here, I am not on him, cuz. Have you heard what Diana was saying? He was up in the room doing his thing. Nobody could say anything. Now you're trying to tell me in a sense that Camilla's kind of our queen. I'm not on it, cuz. That's the side chick.
I think she's called the Queen in Concert. Is that her official?
Yeah.
I'm not on it.
A lot of people think it should have gone to Charles's son, really. Like Harry. No, William, obviously. A lot of people think it should have missed Charles. Whether or not that's
you know what I've noticed in life. I mean, I'm 40 next week, and you know what I've noticed is when you're with somebody for a long time, like the Queen, and her husband passed 15, 18 months ago. Yeah, you usually go a bit after time. It's usually you usually don't kind of recover. You kind of, even if you don't see it or feel it or whatever, you break down. Like that companion that you had there for so long has now gone. You usually go within 2 to 3 years.
I'll be like 20. Don't worry. Be happy.
A lot of times you die with a broken heart.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say, and it wouldn't surprise me if the same thing happened with the king now. Like he's only got he's 70 odd now, isn't he? Like nobody's. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. And so when you're saying it should have been given to William, I fully hear that. Do you get what I'm saying? I actually fully hear that. But you know, he's got a chance now. It rules that he's next in line, so he's got to be next in line. But like you said, he looked broken up there yesterday, and you know, it didn't look good. I wouldn't put that pressure on him to say, "Now you've got to be king" at his age as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I'd kind of let him sit back, and even if he was like kind of controlling it from the back, but you know, William's there in the front, and you call him king. He's like, what is he flipping 30 odd 40? Like, do you know what I mean? That's more what I would have done. But like I said, I'm nobody to be talking about the rules or whatever.
You will not have a Queen of England, an actual successive queen, as in the queen is in charge for maybe the next 150 years. Because it's going to go Charles, it's going to go William, then it's going to go Prince George, then it's going to go Prince George's children. So if Prince George doesn't have a daughter first, you'll have another generation. It could be 200 years before England sees another queen monarch in standing. Quite magical when you word it like that, to be honest.
Yeah. I love the royal family. I think it's an amazing. I find it all fascinating.
You're biased though, do you know what I mean? You're Knight of the Realm. You've got to be like pro-royal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you've got the things, you've got the stamp on all that, bro. You get what I'm saying? You got
telling us about his royal heritage and all that. He's got the stamp on him, and he's got no choice.
You got the stamp, bro. You got to kind of fall in line. You got to watch what you say out here, cuz.
You know what, right? You know when I went over to Buckingham Palace and we had like the tea party and all that lot. It is very like when you get there, you guys know me. I'm laid back. I'll do whatever I want, just roll through life, doing as I please. But you know when you turn up at like Buckingham Palace and that, it's like, oh shit. you feel very like, oh yeah, I'm not really on this level.
No, but I know what you're saying, but because I was at MK Dons and she came and opened the stadium.
Oh really?
And she didn't even greet nobody. She was in the flipping Rolls Royce and she went round the stadium and all that. And when she was coming round, I was thinking, why am I actually feeling like this? Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's like an aura. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like a presence, bro. And she was in the whip. She was like just in the whip going like this. Like, and I'm just thinking to myself, raw. Yeah.
It's very like, quite overwhelming.
Yeah, it's mad, bro. It's mad. It's mad. I just think like she had a little bit of, like, I don't think like she was like, as you know, I think she was a little bit of a, do you get what I'm saying as well? She had a bit of banter, like a little banter and that. Do you get me?
Well, a few people that have been around her said she was like really funny.
Yeah. She looked like she had a little bit of banter, bruv. I swear down, like there's a clip like where she's driving. She's pretty old as well, and she's driving the Range Rover. And she's got a little like headscarf on, like, but she's looking around to say like, "Well, you lot taking a photo?" I'm like, "It's loud me, innit?" Like, and I'm just thinking to myself, she looked like she had a bit of banter and all that. Do you know what I mean? So
she was married.
You know what I loved as well.
She was married to Prince Philip.
I looked. Yeah, and he was lively.
He's a character, bro. He's a character.
It was lively.
He was a character.
I love the clip that I seen yesterday as well when her horse, can't remember what her horse was called, won the Gold Cup, and she was roaring it home in the last furlong. You never really seen the Queen like lose it a little bit before. She was like, "Go on." You forget the human sometimes, don't you? And it was good. I wonder if she had a little bet on it, a little cheeky 20 quid or something.
I don't think she had. I don't think that she had. What do you mean?
Go to the bookies, say, "Give me my Lizzie."
Do you get what I'm saying? I'm on the face of that. Give me that. What happens with the money and all that now?
It's got to change, isn't it? But it's going to take a little while. They're going to introduce notes. It took them 2 years to phase out the old 20s and 10s, so it's not a simple process, but obviously money with your money.
They might just slide in. They might just think it's a perfect time to slide in this digital shit now.
Oh, mate, the reset. Wow. My mate phoned me yesterday and said, "Bruv, Nostradamus said she was going to die in 2022. And the Great Reset is now." And I was like, bruv, calm down. He sent me all the info, everything. I'm like, bruv, allow me for a minute, innit? Like,
really?
But when you look at it, perfect timing.
It would
I seen someone on Twitter yesterday. I've come off Twitter till Monday. I'm like, my head was fried with it. I seen someone yesterday saying that the Queen's actually been dead for years and everything you've been seeing has been CGI and this is all part of the big reset. I was like, Nah, that's enough Twitter for me for one day. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I knew I was losing it when I started tweeting that stuff. I had to come off the internet a little bit, give myself a little break.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that was.
I kind of
like to point out
with Twitter nowadays. Like, I kind of I tweet and then I just come off, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? I might answer a few things here and there, but because these like you had one or two, me, Curtis, and a few others that, you know, would speak their mind and this, that, and the other. But nowadays, bro, flip it. Now, this era of new people, they do not give a shit. Like I was saying about the Queen, bro, if you saw some of the things, some of the threads that was going on about the Queen, bro, and how when she reaches the gates, how Diana's gonna be there, and like just making a complete joke of it. Like, and when you look at it and you see their accounts, it's never their face on the account. Yeah, I'm all for freedom and doing how you think, but it's never their face on the account. It's always some sort of cartoon or a funny person, a comedian, or like, and it ain't that comedian. It's just their profiling as it. Like, it just sometimes it just does my head in. To be fair, that's why I kind of like. You see me on and off there. Like sometimes I might even take all 2-3 days off.
And you know what, and that's why the Queen is a link to the past, where the world was just fucking such a better place.
Yeah,
you know, now it's you know, and you're kind of losing that link. Sad. When I heard the news, I was on my way to the boxing gym. I was in the car. When I heard it, I genuinely felt sad. Like I'd heard it was like not one of my own family members, but someone I was like, oh, I knew, and I was close to it. Yeah, I felt it.
But you've got, like I said, you've got the badge, innit?
It's the sheriff.
I sold that. I sold that. Mortgage review. That got sold last week. It might be worth a bit more money now.
Yeah, 100%. You got to keep a couple notes as well, you know.
Cash converter.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep a 20 with Lizzie's face on it. Just
should have got the.
You still use 20s, don't you?
Yeah, I've gone down from 50s, gone to 20s, and I. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Listen, on that note, I've enjoyed your company very much. We will be back, I would say on Monday. We haven't got any football this week. I don't know what to do that. We'll be back at some point. That's all I know. Okay?
Well, why don't everybody, and make sure the editor gets this in. We done a tremendous show the other day, and James.
Okay, thank you very much. It's great to speak to you guys.
James, it never got recorded. Yeah, so I think that show can come into play as well, because the content and what we was answering was brilliant.
Listen,
but James,
it's funny you mentioned that show. That is a great show to launch our very own podcast on. Okay, audio only. So we'll be using that show as a podcast version of the show, and selected other shows will be uploaded to the iTunes player or whatever it is. I don't know, podcast. However you.
So we're doing. Is that where we're going with it now? Yeah.
Yeah. See, my accidental genius is launched another thing. Do you know what I mean? Not mocking me so much now.
That's not bad of your button.
Well, I think me and Nike will need to discuss details on that before we start, getting too carried away.
On that note, gentlemen,
looks like you're expanding.
100%.
And if you're expanding, my wage packet expands. You know how it is,
bro.
You know it goes down, bro.
Bro, if we had to give 90 the extra money that you're on, we wouldn't have been able to afford a show. Do you know what I mean? You're killing us out here.
All right, listen, don't start.
Sorry.
BEM boosts up his value.
Rich, get that paycheck out, lad.
100%. When you get honoured by the Queen or the King 90, we'll review it. What do you mean?
All right, lads, nice one.